So, Prof, if you are there, okay. Good to see you, Prof. Please unmute, sir. If you can hear me, please unmute your mic.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, sir.
Thank you, Shivdele Mamadou, for this opportunity to be part of this enlightening discourse. First and foremost, let me introduce myself by saying that I was one of the pioneer members of the ruling APC. I belong to what I would call the intellectual wing of the party. And restructuring was the core manifesto element of the party, among other social welfareist programs that were, crafted into the manifesto. And the restructuring was not crafted as a regional agenda. Even though I'm a Yoruba person and some of the moving spirit of the proposal were from the Southwest. But we just felt that the federal government and its apparatus of state have taken more than it can chew. And that is why we have a lot of inefficiency. And there was need for some form of unbundling and devolution of power so that we can have better service delivery at various levels of government. It wasn't meant to, undermine any section of the country or reduce their power. We never look at it from that perspective. Having made that clarification, I can also tell you that this is, we're into the 6th year of the APC administration, and it doesn't appear that we're going to have anything called restructuring too soon. Aside the fact that the president of the country, who happens to be the leader of the APC, is not interested, apparently, in the restructuring agenda, the constitutional procedures required to push through some of the elements of this restructuring proposal is quite cumbersome. You require 2/3 majority in the two-chamber legislature in Abuja, as well as 2/3 approval of the various state house of assemblies across the country. And in a situation where the northern part of the country, especially the conservative north, believes that restructuring is an attempt to whittle down their influence politically, economically. Their attitude to the issue has been so unwelcoming. And without that meeting of minds, that consensus that this is good for all of us, we are not likely going to have anything called restructuring anytime soon. And that dovetails into the issue of 2023 presidency. Now, for some of us, politics is not an end in itself, but a means to an end. I teach in a university, and I hold certain values there. And I know what I teach my students over the years. I am not in politics because I'm hungry or because I want to amass billions. Even now, I don't know what major difference billions will make to my existence. Is it in terms of the food I eat, or the type of dress I wear, or where I live, or the volume of travels I make around the world? I travel a lot already. So I don't know what tangible difference it will make. But the reality on the ground is that this same caliber of people that have been in power since 1999, when we returned to this Fourth Republic, are the ones that are still calling the shots. And their orientation for itself, in terms of where we find ourselves today as a nation, they are not going to change anytime soon. And they are getting a lot more powerful. And I will explain that. I've come to the conclusion that poverty, and whenever I have the time, I think I would need to write a book on that. Poverty as an instrument of governance. The Nigerian ruling elites, whether in the north or south, have effectively mastered the use of poverty to entrench and perpetuate themselves in power. That is why when in an election that you think will go this way, it goes the other way. Overnight, all they do is share money. People will be on the queue. I've been there where I see them sharing money. So that is what is going to happen in 2023. The rate at which things are going. So don't expect any magic. And the volume of money we are talking about, you and I don't have it. Showore doesn't have it. Dr. Obadiah Melafia doesn't have it. Dele Momodu, I don't think he has it, except he's hiding it. So that kind of money is only those who are in government and are stealing from the our common patrimony that can afford to dole the money out, because we are talking of billions. So to that extent, and the people are waiting. Osita Shidoka said something that I found that anytime I remember it, I laugh a lot. When he attempted to contest for the governorship of Anambra State, he said there was one boy who commented to him that, Oga, we've seen your manifesto. In fact, of all these people saying they want to be governor, yours is the best. You have a vision, you have a plan for Anambra State. But by the way, Party A, this is what their candidate is offering, throwing around to individual voters. Party B, this is what their candidate is offering. How much is yours, no matter how small? What are you offering? That is the orientation of our voters. And we are talking of millions of people. So that is the problem. That is the major challenge confronting us. Now, talking of while the Southwest may be crying more about restructuring, the caliber of politicians that dominate the scene in the Southwest are just the same thing, essentially, with these other politicians in other parts of the country. And they are not going to change overnight. So restructuring or anything ideological is not on the table at all. It's just crude contest for power and the benefits that go with it, which includes majorly looting directly from the treasury, allocating and reallocating oil blocks, giving license to run ports or withdrawing the license from one person and giving it to the other. It's just politics of spoils politics. So for us, the issue of restructuring doesn't come in. They may just make it a campaign rhetoric, but it doesn't go beyond that. So the hope of a change then lies not in the present crop of politicians, but in those that truly have the kind of attributes that Dr. Obadiah Melafia just painted. He painted the attributes eloquently, and I was just saying amen, because those attributes, those who have them, we have them in abundant number in Nigeria. But for them to come into politics and have an impact is going to be a Herculean task. So the way forward is for those of us that love this country to start to roll up our sleeves and begin to work hard and locate ourselves wherever we are, because the time ahead is too short, just about 2 years plus from now. And those who are going to hold us hostage going forward, they are already meeting. They are not even sleeping from across the country. They are crisscrossing from one party to the other because the price is high, and that is Nigeria's treasury, from Abuja to the various states and local government. So if we are the only hope, except we get to a point where, as we are careening into chaos now, maybe if this chaos is, we allow it to really bubble, to burst as a bubble, maybe something new will come out of the ashes, you know, of the chaos. But if we want a peaceful change, then some of us we have got to be more selfless, be ready to make more sacrifice, be ready to show humility and differ to one another, and locate ourselves across the length and breadth of the country and see how we can get help. The greatest assets we have, these politicians don't have. Some of us have our brains. We can analyze things clearly, and we have credibility. So that is that. That is just what I would like to say.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you for that very powerful delivery. You mentioned something about money politics. I don't think there is no candidate in the world who can fully fund a campaign, not even Donald Trump. You would still have to, in Nigeria, before you can get campaign funding or donations, the owners of the country, I once heard that phrase around 1998, 99, and I want us to talk about it very quickly. I was supporting Chief Olufalaye against Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, and I had suggested to Chief Falaye that we should get Dr. Rilwan Lukman, who was at OPEC at the time, to be his running mate. And he said, okay, how do we get him? I said, I'll volunteer to go. And I traveled to Vienna to talk to Dr. Rilwan Lukman, now of blessed memory. And that was the night he told me some people are the owners of Nigeria and that they've decided on President Olusegun Obasanjo. I said, are we not going to vote? Or how can the owners of Nigeria just tell us it's Obasanjo? He said, well, I'll soon find out. And I should thank Chief Olufalaye for considering him as running mate, but he's not interested. And true to his prediction, the owners of Nigeria made sure that President Obasanjo, that Chief Obasanjo became the president of Nigeria. So the issue of the owners of Nigeria in Nigeria